Good morning, traders. This is Brad Matheny. Today is the 5th of September. We're looking at an SPY chart. Very interesting moves over the last couple of days. In fact, move to visual order, bring to front. Um, Looks to me like this big crush pattern that took place on Tuesday was a carryover of that pattern on Monday. And today we're going to move into what's called a topping pattern. It's going to be a top resistance pattern today. I think we're going to see a move back up into the probably the 553, 554, 555 area again, setting up a top, rolling a little bit downward near the end of the day. We're going to take a look at this here on a 30-minute chart. I'll come in here and show you 10-minute. And where we're going to be with that is a lot of little lines here from the other days. And where we're going to be with that is that we are going to be seeking out a high price today. Okay. So when you come down here and you take a look at these levels, we're still holding up above these levels here. You can see visual order, bring to front, and visual order, bring to front. So we're still holding up above these lows, these 549 lows. And it is important that we understand that this is the top of the gap window. Now, the QQQs have moved downward. I'll show you this in a minute. But this topping pattern today will likely see us move into an upward type of trend this morning, maybe back up into this 555 area, maybe even a little higher. And then we're going to roll. And then we're going to probably end up closing down just a bit off of the highs. Maybe we could get this roll at the very end of the day. It could happen in the middle of the day. But the topping pattern indicates that we're going to get this type of a rolling upward trend. Okay. Now, we could see a very strong upward move, meaning we could see something really move us back up into this 50% area. That would be 557, 558 on a strong rally attempt. Now, like I said, this decoupling event really more evident in what the Bank of Japan is doing right now is likely related to the strength of the economy and the fact that the economy is shifting. It's shifting away from the zero interest rate mode of the last 10, 15 years and really moving towards a more, I don't want to call it healthy, but a more normalized interest rate type of policy. And I think the Bank of Japan is reacting to the fact that, the stronger economy, stronger US dollar is pushing the global markets into currency uncertainty. And they're reacting to that in a way that's trying to stave off real market concern for them. In other words, if the US is able to manage capital at a 5.5% Fed funds rate, the Bank of Japan should be able to attempt to manage things at around a 1.5% rate. And they can no longer be zero or negative interest rate simply because of the way the world is working right now. This is not a zero interest rate environment any longer. This is more of let's call it a basing, bottoming growth economy, and that's something that I think the world is having to adjust to right now. So now, when you come in and take a look at this SPY on a daily basis, you can see, yeah, we've had a bit of rotation over here. Nothing too serious. We're really looking at this basing, bottoming scenario here. We're way off of my projected levels because it's crush pattern, like I said, was a big deviation away from what I expected. These patterns are still playing out. And again, they are still playing out. I'm going to leave them here so we can see. We've seen the crush pattern disrupt our pattern. We've seen our little inside bar here, which is very similar to what I predicted up here. Now we'll look for that topping pattern here, maybe a little sideways trend, and then start moving into upward trending come Friday and Monday, Tuesday of next week. Okay, so we're really looking at an upward trend here by about the 10th, maybe even initiating on the 9th. Okay, so we got to really watch this 548, call it 549, call it area. We got to watch this gap window. I think we stay above this gap high, try to find a top, and then roll a bit higher into the end of the week and early next week. And that's really going to be a very interesting play here off of this move. If we hold above this gap window, there's another little gap down here. Let me highlight that while we're at it. Another little gap right there. Just a tiny little hair of a gap, it looks like. All right, that's darn close. Close enough. And if we stay above this gap and we do rally out of this, we're going to be looking at another wave higher. Very important that we're going to be looking at another wave as I projected up into this 560. Well, we're up there now almost, but really we're going to be targeting this 585, maybe up to 595 area on the SPY. But I think there's a pretty good chance. I'll bet you there's a right now about a 70-80% chance this is going to resolve over the next couple of weeks because we have, and let me find it, SPY cycle patterns, because we have a very strong mode coming up next week. So you can see top resistance, flat down, breakaway, weekend gap, gap up higher in counter trend mode, possibly lower move, consolidation, inside breakaway and trending, breakaway again, rally mode, gap reversal, top, gap potential, top, upside resistance. And then here's where we get into that topping pattern. I think this move here around the 10th, 11th, 12th, this is going to be a good solid rally phase. This could be a pretty solid gapping rally topping. Now remember, when I see top, rally top, to me, what I'm thinking of, guys, when I see a rally top, I'm thinking about something that looks kind of like this. Let me move this out of the way, come back here. A rally top is kind of like rally top, rally top, rally. So that's the idea behind rally top, rally top, rally top. It's setting up little rotations in price, moving decidedly upward. So that's where I think this whole uh, gap up, gap top, breaking, gap up, breakaway, and these topping patterns, I think, are really going to become this rally phase is going to become very evident around the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and then move into that up pop, up pop, up pop move. Really, rally, pause, rally, pause, rally, pause. And that's going to happen around the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, maybe all the way into the end of September. So right now we're just kind of moving through this. And if you remember, I commented that this week was going to be tough. This week was really going to be tough. We had the crush pattern, the reversal rally, which never really showed up. Where we saw the crush. We got a little bit of reversal rally yesterday. The up, down, up did set up. Now we're looking at a top resistance and a flat down. So in reality, even if we saw this little top resistance here, we would still be trading probably in the 554 area by tomorrow, by end of day tomorrow, Friday. Then we move into that real strong rally phase. Then we move into that upward trend that's going to probably put us up into the 580, 590, maybe higher area. Okay, let's take a look at the QQQ. And again, we have filled the gap. You can see the lines that I drew here. We're trying to hold up. We are going to come in here and get rid of this and get rid of this and get rid of that. We had all these lines. I'll get rid of some of these from earlier. So we had filled this gap. We do have, looks like I've already drawn it here. So we'll make this yellow. We do have that gap, which I will make a little lighter, different color. And then we have this rally phase here. So what we're looking at here is we filled this gap and we moved down into the 50% area. I drew this yesterday. I'll draw it again for you. But from this rejection point up to this rejection point, you can see we're looking at the 382 level here. We're looking at the 50% level here and the 618 level here. Okay. If we were to move this from essentially this rejection point, now we're looking at the 382 level being up here, which we're already below, the 50 level being here, and the 618 level being here. So ideally, ladies and gentlemen, we have, moderately strong support here, and we have moderately strong support in this area here. And this is where we're probably going to be looking for support in the market, given these moderate rejection points, whether we call this the rejection point or whether we call this the rejection point down here for this low. And again, we could come down off of here. So we're really looking at this area here to be some very strong support. We could get down into this lower area, which puts us near this 618 area right here. But I don't think that's going to happen. With the QQQ, I think what we're going to be looking at is, again, with the top pattern today, we're probably going to be looking at, come in here to 10 minutes and spread it out. We're probably going to be looking at a fairly solid little rally phase today, attempting to possibly move back up into this upper gap window area. So if the rally does show up, probably going to move back up into this upper gap window, 569, maybe 570, maybe a little lower, 567, and then rolling downward towards the end of the day. Now, I don't think we're going to get much of a big sell-off. It might be more of the long lines like this, just rolling slightly into bearish territory by the end of the day. But this 567 to 570 area, 467 to 470 area really is probably going to be our target topping pattern or topping area for today. So probably right in this area as a topping range today. I mean, I do see the potential to move higher, and really the potential to move higher comes from, if you look at the immediate resistance here, you can come from this rejection channel down to, let's just go to here, and you see that that's a perfect 618 area, and then we have the 50 area, and then we have the 382 area. So this area here and potentially this slightly lower area here both give us very solid projected targets here. So really 466 to 470, that puts us in very moderate pullback mode of this downward trend. It should be a very healthy move. Anything up above 470 would likely not last very long on a pullback move. Remember, the topping pattern today should be a rally phase up, then a roll downward. Okay, so this is going to be pretty interesting day. We'll see what happens. Now let's take a look at gold. Gold is moving a bit higher. Nice move here off of that 25.05 low that I kept talking about. Very important that we held support above this level. We're now back up to 25.43. Again, let's take a look at a daily chart. I still believe gold, I still believe gold is moving up to 26, then 26.50. but initially it's got to get above this 25.93, which you can see I've marked on this chart. So 25.93 is really our breakout level. And if I come in here and try to draw the 25.93 level, it would be basically right there. So that's our 25.93 level. And that's the level, oops, come back here. That's the level that I think is critically important for gold to get above. I mean, we really need to see gold make this move up to 25.93, find some resistance up here in the 2600, 2615, 2620 area, then rebound back off the 25.93 area to try to move higher. And again, you can see I've drawn this. Let me get rid of this and try to draw again from this area. It's very important that we get up here, rebound, and then potentially move up into this area before we see some peak in gold. Now, this is, again, moving, I don't want to say cleanly, because it's been a bit of rotation as this decoupling event has held up. It has been holding up above this 25.05 level, which is very good. But remember, we're still, a ways away from trying to get into the expansion phase over here. So remember, folks, we're eventually going to move into this expansion phase. Looks like I've done a lot of drawing. And what we're looking for right now, folks, is this channeling to continue to take place. So if we come back over here and auto scale, spread this out, shrink this down, drag this back over. We're looking at this channeling. We're looking for this channeling to continue to take place. And you can see we've broken out of it a little bit. So what I would do is I would copy, paste, and then drag these out a bit. So at this point, we have this low here. Set this up as a different color. Control CV. Set this as an outside range. Over here. Possibly up there. That looks pretty good. And then here's our channel. So you can see the inner channel in yellow, the outer channel in light cyan. We actually have to move this down just a bit. That looks pretty good. They're equal distance. I'm looking for the range between the yellow and blue here and the yellow and blue here. Really checking out here where I can see it. And this is our upward channel. And this, like I said, we're going to probably run in this channel until we break out of it. And ultimately, once we get to this 2650, 2670 area, we will get some sort of breakdown, pause, maybe into just before the election. We'll see. And then we're going to move into another rally phase. It'll take us up to the expansion level. So we are right now looking for that last little leg in this move. Looking for that peak right up in this area. And I'll highlight this with some sort of a peaking color. And that, I think, is going to be really the high before we get some moderate pullback. And that moderate pullback really could put us down, into this area, back into the 2560, 2590 area. And that's because we'd be looking for a moderate price pullback to continue this leg. We would be looking at an upward leg here and a pullback, and then an upper leg here, and a pullback in this area really could even end up back down here, 2,500. That's the way price works. If we have this move from this low up to this high, then a 50% pullback or 382% pullback is not out of the question. That's how legging works. That's how waves and cycles work. Okay, so we're looking real good right now. We're looking for a run up to 2593 and beyond. Let's see how that plays out. And of course, Bitcoin struggling right now, trying to hold up at that 57,000 level. I really do believe Bitcoin's going to move higher off of this area. We've got this washout low, this decoupling event. Let's see how it plays out. Like I said, ultimately, we've had this very deep low. We need to hold up above these levels. And as I mentioned to you, we're already below this critical support 57,000 area. I wouldn't be an aggressive buyer right now until we saw Bitcoin move back up to say 58, 57, probably 58.7, 59,000. But I do believe we wash out and move higher. I really do. But we'll just keep an eye on this as this rolls away. This has been a pretty good washout low. I think we're going to turn. I think Bitcoin's going to turn back to the upside. We'll see what happens, but I think it's going to turn back to the upside. And really that's because of this apexing flag formation. A, B, C, D. I think this is just a big, broad washout low. And I'd really be watching, this rejection area here, because a washout low can be very violent. You can see we've got some rejection. If we were to rally back up today and reject off of this 57,000 area, that'd be really solid today. Really a good sign. Okay, let's see what happens. We're almost at the end of the week. And remember, this is the beginning of a decoupling phase. You can see the Japanese yen. Here's the daily Nikkei index. This was the first decoupling phase. Looks like we've got a bit of a moderate decoupling phase here. We are in kind of a downward trend. You can see from this point to this point, the rejection. You can see the 50 and 618. Look at how important this is. There's the 618 area. Okay, and you can see these, they happen regularly. There's a 50% area, and here's the 382 area. Why am I highlighting these? Because I want you to see that the Fibonacci system, Fibonacci price levels are critical. They happen all the time through rotation. Now, what we'd be looking at here is if these areas fail, we will come down and take out this rejection point here, meaning that we would move like this. If we get this moderate rotation through this move, then what you would do is you would be looking for this 50% to 618 area here to act as support. And so that gives us the idea that we've come back down, we've run back into support here. We may move into support and then try to roll back up, taking out this high, giving us that big rally phase back out of it. So we're really kind of looking here at this lower area as the ultimate, and this area here is the unique. This area is our ultimate high. This is our unique high. So what we would be looking for right now, we're in the midst of a sideways channel. And what we're looking for is support right now in this area to see if it holds, turns back around, should try to take out this high and then try to take out this high. If this level fails, then it should try to take out this low and then eventually down to this low down here. So understand, Fibonacci is a key to everything. It really is. You just got to learn to use it. Daily's a little wide with the ranges and such, but it is still key to everything. Okay, let's go back to the SPY and we will try to keep you updated as we go. Okay, guys, talk to you later.